Huge shout out to the team behind the map. I will put the link in the description below. Recently, I've had the itch to go back and play some of the classic Zombies maps that truly defined an era of the Zombies experience, mainly Black Ops 1 and 2. I decided to start with Mob of the Dead, as I've always been fascinated by the near Shakespearean tragedy in the storytelling. It's one of the most solid maps by zombie standards between gameplay and innovation. However, the visual detail and way that the storytelling blends so effortlessly into the map really puts it leaps and bounds ahead of others. At its heart, the map is almost somber and gives a sense of despair, especially when you're playing by yourself and you have nothing to listen to but the slow and sorrowful notes of the music in the background. But you get the point. Great map, beloved by many, blah blah blah. I was always curious why we never seen a proper remaster of this map, especially given the chance with Zombies Chronicles, but I figured it was inevitably lost to time. Then I saw a new map on the Steam Workshop, Mob of the Dead Remastered. As the ultimate fan revival of a map, I thought it deserved nothing less than a full comparison and critique, being pitted against the original. I simply played both maps, did all available Easter eggs, and tallied my results. Without further ado, this is Mob of the Dead, Remaster or Original. I double points the first round and use the majority of the second round to feed the Hellhound out of spawn. I buy the B23R off the wall and leave the last couple zombies to walk while I open towards the warden's office and use the afterlife box. After shocking the key down, I open through the office and then head on over to the cafeteria area of the map. I do a little parkour in Afterlife and open the laundry room door. Next, I open up towards the roof and start to feed the second dog on the map, next to the infirmary. Because I was lacking in zombies for the end of the round, I started up the laundry cycle in the showers to get some more spawns to finish feeding the second dog, as well as receiving the part for the plane. Now, I start to open towards the docks and descend the spiral rock ramp towards the final dog I have to feed. I enter Afterlife to get the next plane part by zapping the numbers and unfortunately get downed inside the part cage using my last Afterlife of the round. What follows after I revive myself is most likely my most impressive footwork I've ever pulled off in zombies to this day, so if you like that, feel free to hit one of those buttons down below. I was pretty hyped, so I next build a shield and start to feed the final dog by the docks. After finishing the feeding, I run to grab the Hell's Retriever and return to the docks to grab the canisters for the plane. Lastly, I grab the engine part from the warden's office and start grabbing the hidden blue skulls around the map to get the free Blundergat. Once I get the Blundergat, I build the acid kit to convert it to the acid gat. After finishing the conversion, I head to the roof and hop on the plane, initiating takeoff before colliding with the Golden Gate Bridge and falling to the concrete below. Now that I've made it to Pack-a-Punch, I build some points, fight off Brutus, and upgrade my weapon before strapping into the electric chair and starting the cycle over again. Now that I'm back in the prison, I start to zap and retrieve the spoons for the Golden Spork Easter egg. Between stirring the bloodbath and refueling the plane, I am ready to head back to the bridge for round 2 with the Warden. This time on the bridge, I use my Retriever to rack up kills for the Redeemer upgrade and head back to begin again. Now I throw my Retriever into the lava under the first dog location and then grab the Redeemer in Afterlife. For the Golden Spork melee upgrade, I rack up some kills in the showers with the Vitriolic Withering and receive the Spork from the Infirmary Blood Tub. Fast forward to my third plane ride, and I am on the bridge once again. I take my time getting some kills and testing my new weapons, as the final steps of the Easter egg are limited to 2 players in the original rendition of Mob, something that I wanted to replicate in my playthrough, although Plutonium does allow a solo finish to the Easter egg. Now that I've gotten to experience the original, I head over to Black Ops 3 and load up the custom remaster. Loading in, you can instantly tell the difference in graphical quality as well as the relief of being able to slide. I start off in a relatively same fashion, feeding the dogs, opening the warden's office and showers, gathering parts, and getting on the plane. While on the bridge, I get some points, fight the warden, and snap back to reality. After having thoroughly explored this rendition, I have to say the warm colors being turned up and the mechanics of Black Ops 3 replacing their predecessor feel very unique in this atmosphere that we're already so familiar with. Another unique addition to this version is a couple of new side Easter eggs, with the first being the Magma Gat upgrade from Blood of the Dead, giving us another gun and another flash of PTSD. After luckily getting a second gat from the box on my first spin, I temper it in the warden's fireplace during a short lockdown, and then I have to race it down to the docks, passing through fire barrels to keep it warm before pressing it into the magma gat. It's a welcome addition, but it feels like unless you get lucky like me or use your free gat unlock on it, there's an upgrade for rounds players, but not necessarily Easter egg runners, although it certainly works if you can manage it. Next, I refuel the plane, get the axe and spoon upgrades, and head to the infirmary hallway to unlock the other side Easter egg added. By shooting the planks on the door in the hallway, you can open it, revealing the stamina up perk, which was missing from the original map. After my next plane ride, I head down to the afterlife numbers towards the docks. They are now spinning, and after zapping in the prisoner numbers, you get to reach one of the coolest parts of the Easter egg, an audiobook retelling of the true story of what happened to Sal, Finn, Billy, and Weasel. Lastly, we have to follow the tapes to the roof, where we enter Afterlife and hop on the plane for our final voyage. Once we reach the bridge, the map spawns in a bot which takes the place of a second player if one isn't present. You now have to fight the bot to the death, which decides whether you continue the cycle or break it. Now, for the part you've all been waiting for, which do I prefer? Well, let's start with the visuals. The dark and moody tone and atmosphere is sold heavily in the original. Accompanied by the music and the utterly hopeless environment, it encapsulates what the map is all about as a whole, which is a given, as it was the original, thus it was designed that way. However, the game has to be viewed in its original state for the best experience, as messing with FOV and upscaling in plutonium shows some of the cracks that time has exposed. Now, the remaster's visuals are nothing short of beautiful, while on par with Treyarch remasters, which is a blessing and a curse. The colors and beauty of the graphics that Black Ops 3 is capable of presenting don't really lend themselves to a map that is supposed to be this dark and brooding environment. I found the enhanced visuals in some areas almost a bit cozy, which, while not symbolic of the map, certainly look fantastic from a visual standpoint. Next up, we'll look at the game's systems. The original mob had classic systems like 2-hit downs and dolphin diving. The zombies also move a little bit differently between the versions. It goes without saying that the original Mob of the Dead is much more difficult than the remaster, which goes for anything shifting from the old systems such as the Chronicles maps. The remaster has 3 hit downs and sliding, which feels better as without PhD on the map, the original has no convenient utilization of the dolphin dive, while sliding offers a much quicker method of transportation around the map. That being said, the map isn't exactly designed for sliding, but it can still come in handy in places such as the bridge, the docks, and other straightaways. Next, we will look at the content of the versions themselves. The original is a classic, and has plenty to do, especially if you're not as familiar with the game or map. It really is a complete experience given the time it was released. Between the plane needing to be built for pack, the Golden Spork, the Retriever and the Redeemer upgrade, and the free GAT quest plus Acid upgrade, you have everything you need to have a good time. The remaster has everything the original has, and adds even more, such as the Magma GAT upgrade and the addition of stamina. While still possible in plutonium, something the remaster also has over the original is the fully soloable Easter egg, although it is more of a formality as the bot that spawns for the final showdown doesn't put up much of a fight. My final opinion? For an easy and quickly accessible version of a classic fan favorite map, the remaster is a beautiful creation oozing with love from fan creators that ultimately made an experience on par with some Treyarch showings. However, if you're a classic Zombies fan who enjoys a bit more difficulty that rewards experience, I would say the original is definitely for you. And I think it really boils down to personal preference when it comes to the numerous system changes that we've talked about. All I know is that however you choose to experience it, you'll be playing a fantastic map that has earned its spot in the hearts of Zombies players old and new. Thank you.